Yesterday, I saw a very interesting movie. Well, I feel like I just have to talk about it. I don't know. I'm not gonna verdict this because it's not really a new movie. It's a very old movie, like 2015, and it's a movie called Knock Knock. Uh, my motive to watch this movie was that Ballerina, which is a new John Wick spin-off that's coming out soon, has basically every single actor that's in this movie. So you have freaking Keanu Reeves in this movie. You have the main character Ballerina who's in this movie too, and you also have another character who's gonna be in the movie as well. So you basically there's like a little like sneak peek, little freaking other side of this Ballerina thing. So I feel like I just wanted to watch it because it has those actors in it. So you said I knew nothing about Knock Knock. I was fully expecting to come in here, just like a normal Keanu Reeves movie with like two ladies. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And the worst did happen. So I want to talk about it. So I want to get off with like the good stuff about this movie, and there wasn't really a lot of good things about this movie. All right, so the first thing, like the first like main thing about this movie that's pretty good, is that it kept me entertained. Like I was entertained the entire time. Like every minute of this movie, I was just glued to my screen. Like if someone was to walk in and they asked me, Isaiah, you just won $1 million, I probably would not hear that because how glued am I was in that movie. It wasn't boring at all, and I like that. That's what a movie should do. If it can keep you entertained like that. And that's what Knock Knock did for me. I guess like the second thing is that I think the two girls were pretty hot. Like to be completely honest, as a guy, I think the two girls were pretty hot. Like the casting crew, they did a very good job picking the two ladies to torture Keanu Reeves, and I think they chose a very good job. And apparently, they got lucky enough. Well, those two girls will be appearing in the Ballerina movie. It's pretty cool. All right, let's get into the bad things. So obviously, just to start it off, this is basically the synopsis of it. Like there was really no plot to this movie. Like this plot, just like actual no plot to this. Like I'm not even joking. There was zero plot in this movie. Like I was confused the entire time. So basically, for what I synopsed, Keanu Reeves is an architect. His name is Evan. So I'm gonna call these people by their names, their movie names. So Evan is Keanu Reeves, Belle is Anna, and I think Lorenzo is Genesis. So for now on, use that little key to making a little head to is because I'll be calling them that from now on. So we got Evan here, freaking Keanu Reeves. We got Evan, who's like an architect, and he loves his wife and kids and all that, and he loves them so much. So uh, when the wife wanted to like spend Father's Day with him, he couldn't, so he had to like stay home because of like a work thing he had to do, like I think like a sculpture project he had to do. So he stayed home alone while the wife and kids were off on vacation. And then he was just doing work. Sounds like because this is a whole movie, which is kind of a blot because this movie did not feel like a whole movie at all. But the thing happened where he heard knocking at his door. So Mr. Evan just walks up there, boom, two girls immediately out of the door waiting. So throughout that like 30-minute thing, when he opened the door, he just basically he just did nice gestures. Hey, do you want tea? Do you want me to wash your wet clothes? Do you want to sit down? Do you guys want to talk to anything? And that's what they did. And the girls were very happy about it. Both Belle and Genesis were just actual nice people, and this will probably be the only time that they'll be nice. So it starts to get weird from this point. Like after like Keanu Reeves or Evan was just being nice, all of a sudden, for some reason, 15 minutes in the movie after that knocking incident happened, um, he was just being seduced. Basically, just freaking these two women were just seducing him, and he's like, I have a loving wife. Get the frick away from me. So like, when they're like caressing his chin or his shoulders and all that, he had to like move away. Like, oh, this is okay. Let me just sit down over here. And then that happened. So they had to go take a shower or something. So then Keanu says okay, and then they called for his name, and basically, boom. Next thing you know, they're naked, and Keanu's like, I can't look at this, but he's like, oh wow. And then basically the two women just start freaking molesting him, and next thing you know, Keanu's just effing them, every single one of them. And then this is when the movie comes in. Well, um, throughout the movie they just torture him. For I have no idea why they torture him, and they like freaking just kill his entire family, and they just keep calling him like a cheater. They call him like a cheater. You're a pedophile, you know. And they just keep calling him that. They just abuse him, and that's the thing about this movie. I feel like this movie is just like actual torture porn. And if you just like seeing Keanu Reeves getting tortured by two beautiful women, this is the perfect movie for you. And that's what it is. So it's so weird that these two women are just actually abusing this guy. You know, tying him to a chair, you know, with headphones and blaring loud music while asking him questions, or like like putting him in a freaking grave and like burying him with only his head out, like that one freaking video from Voss in Far Cry 3. Like he's just actually just getting tortured. Like this guy got stabbed with a fork where he got surgery on, and they like recorded like a video of like him, like one of the Genesis was recording a video of freaking Belle like actually just freaking humping him, and she videoed it. You know, Belle was just like barking like a dog, and boom, next thing you know, end of the movie, she posts that video on Facebook, and there goes his life. And he just keeps blamming that he's like a good father, he's a good father, he's a good father. But yeah, I don't think if you F two women, I don't think you're a good father because you just cheat on your wife immediately. And then through that entire movie was just like, okay, Evan, you're a cheater. You know what cheaters get? They get punished. So let me punish you. And obviously, it's just a big cat and mouse movie. That's basically what the entire movie is. And I think that's like a synopsis of it. Just you just watch two girls just watching Keanu Reeves just get absolutely flabbergasted, basically. So also the acting in this movie is honestly very bad. Um, it's just weird seeing that these three actors, the main actors and actresses, they just suck. Like the way they act is honestly they suck. I don't know like what happened in this movie. Like Keanu Reeves like acting in this movie was just very like nonchalant. Like when he screams, because this guy screams so much in this movie, which is honestly understandable because you all getting freaking tortured, getting freaking molested. So he just watched Keanu scream, and when he screams, it doesn't sound like a guy screaming. It just sounds like like in like a very like nonchalant voice, because I feel like Keanu Reeves, like him as like the main character, kinda, it doesn't seem right. Like he doesn't like fit in this movie. Like they should have done another person to like star in this movie, because this doesn't feel like a Keanu Reeves movie. I feel like they had Keanu Reeves in here because it's like a marketing thing. Because Keanu Reeves is in this movie, that means this movie is gonna be good. And I feel like he just did not fit in this film. Like the way that he acted, the way the character he had to play, you know, his job, his like, you know, acting, his screaming, like it just did not fit him. Like I don't know like what actor could have fit him in there, but it just did not fit him. Like this role in the movie just did not fit Keanu, and I feel bad because you know reputation went downhill, and it's honestly kind of sad. Um, I feel bad for Keanu, and just the acting in general was just so trash. It was so bad. I don't know why this movie was made. There was literally no plot to this movie, but the only good thing about this movie that I was very entertained. There was a lot of things in here like he gets stabbed a lot. This guy gets raped a lot. So you just watch Keanu just get freaking blasted. You know, John Wick. You know, John Wick. No more. You know, He's no longer John Wick. He's just getting his John Wick. So, yeah, it's honestly kind of crazy. This movie, I don't know, like what the point of this movie was. Like throughout the entire movie, I was just like, what the freak is this supposed to mean? Why? Where was the plot? There was literally no story to this movie. Like next thing you know, he's caught a pedophile, and then next thing you know, he's just caught a cheater, and the girls leave. And this is also one of the movies where it's well the bad guys actually win. So the ending of the movie is just Keanu just actually like watching his life deplete while his wife like you know his wife comes home with like freaking paintings and all that, you know, like inappropriate stuff on his wall, and the wife and the kids looking at him like, okay, I'm breaking up with my husband because what he did. And he just seemed like that video where he like well the lady humped him. It gets posted on Facebook and he likes it, and then he's just like and you know screams with like thing on his mouth, and honestly, and then just leave. The two ghosts just actually say sayonara. We did our duty here. We ruined this guy's life for no reason. Literally, There was zero reason why those two girls just ruined his life. Like there was literally like zero reason like why they did that. And that's the big problem with this movie. There was no plot. It's not a complete movie because all this movie is just torture porn. That's really all it is. You just watch Keanu just actually get fricked up. And overall, I think this movie was just very like weird. It was entertaining. The only good thing about this movie, it was entertaining. Like you will watch this movie, you won't freaking have go fall asleep. Freaking you know just like narcoleptic. Like once you like glaze on this movie, your eyes will close immediately. Like no, my eyes were open, widely open, like very like interested in this movie because it was entertaining. It wasn't boring. It was pretty entertaining. But overall, like what makes a movie, I feel like this movie just did very trash on it, and it just seemed like a big marketing scheme. So overall, if this was a Straw Hat verdict, even though it's not, I will literally give this movie like a good 4 out of 10. Like this movie was very bad. The only good thing about this movie was that the characters were pretty good, the casting was good, the two girls were hot, and that it was entertaining. Everything else that makes this a movie sucks. It's bad. So yeah, I can't wait for Ballerina, that new John Wick movie, because I watched the trailer for that one. That actually looks very hype. So I can't wait for that one. Alright, knock knock. Very, very weird, interesting, and honestly, a big waste of money, to be honest. There was no need for that movie to exist. It was so weird. Very weird. Thanks for watching.